My first day of school, or actually like the second day of school, ended up being an entire assembly full of the whole school, from like kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade, announcing the new kid. I just want to color and go to recess and have lunch. Like, as a kid, it was a terrible experience, but as an adult, I'm like, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Welcome back to Life with Feet, where we really have something important to talk to you guys about today, because this is every day when we have encounters with children. Every day. And it's like, how do we educate our children about how to deal with differences? Because people are different, but some are more different than others, and some people stand out more, like Tish and I when we walk into a grocery store. Kids are like glued to us and like stare at us. I was just at the airport yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, is this kid ever gonna stop staring at me? Because it started to make me feel a little self-conscious, you know? But you know, children are young, they're naive, and the question is, what do we do to bring about awareness and educating them about differences? Because I mean, we all experience this, especially like I was telling you, there was one story I had where I was at a Baskin Robbins getting some ice cream, which I absolutely love ice cream. And I showed up at, I think it was like 99-cent scoop day at Baskin Robbins. And I went over there to get my ice cream, and I pulled the credit card out of my shoe to make the purchase, and all of a sudden I noticed this little girl behind me. She literally like jumps back a whole foot, and her face is of terror. She's like absolutely terrified when she sees that I'm doing this transaction with my foot. And I'm like, you know, I hate the fact that I scared her. And I was just wondering, have you ever had something like that happen to you, where the kid is like so shocked or scared, or something happens that catches you off guard?
I could probably go on for years on stories of kids that I've interacted with in the past just couple of years. But I really think that their experiences, children are naturally curious. They're experiencing the world for the first time, and not being able to experience seeing someone who doesn't have arms or someone who's in a wheelchair, that's different for them. And so naturally they're going to stare and wonder and be curious. And in those situations, I like to take the opportunity to address either the child or even like the parents, and let them know that it's okay that I'm different, and it's okay that your child is staring at me and he's just curious, and I'm more than willing to sit down, and even if it's just like a 5-second conversation where he's like, where's your arms? And I say, I was born without arms. Kids are so understanding. They're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you understand, because I don't. But I was in line the other day waiting to check out, and there was a kid who was asking me, his mother, he goes, hey, she doesn't have arms. Just pointing it out, all natural. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And his mom was like so nice. She was like, well, why don't you ask her? Like, why don't you talk to her about it? And so like I, gently like turned around, and I was like, hi, like I'm Disha. And he's like, what's that on your leg? And I was like, that's my prosthetic. And I like to like gauge like how old the child is, trying to figure out like how I can explain things to him. And he was very young. He was like maybe 6 or 7. So I was like, it's a robot leg. And he goes, oh my God, that's cool. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, Iron Man. He goes, I want one. I'm like, okay, no, I don't think you do, but okay. So I interacted with this child, and we had a really cool like 3-minute conversation where he was just asking me questions. And I was like, I was born without arms. And he was like, oh, that happens? And I was like, yeah, sometimes it happens. And his mom, like, I definitely appreciate his mom not shushing him and saying, shh, don't talk about her, or she's different, we don't talk about those people, or like even like leaving the line because she's embarrassed of her child being curious.
Has it ever happened though? Has anyone ever like done that?
Oh, so I was at Walmart walking around with my husband, and there was an incident where I heard the child behind me going, Mom, she doesn't have arms. She doesn't have arms. And I take the time to like gauge like the situation, like how Walmart is. So I, was just walking away, and they turned the corner, and I could hear her slap him across the face and basically yelling at him saying, "We don't talk about those people."
Oh, I'm appalled.
I was mortified. Like, I really wanted to just go back and like yell at that woman, but again, like, we're at Walmart, like, she could be carrying a gun. I don't know. But like that was like a really teaching moment for her child to understand that people are different and it's okay. And I think that what he learned that day was that people are different, it's not okay. And so he's gonna grow up thinking, or like seeing someone else, like the next person he sees, he's going to either run away or feel uncomfortable, not wanting to talk about it. And then that type of behavior is taught through generation to generation. And it's really upsetting because we live in a society where there's more people with disabilities than ever before. And we just want to be treated like human beings.
Yeah.
But for her to slap him across the face, I was like scared for him, and like scared for like the next generation who might not be as accepting to my disability as, if she would have come up to me, or if he would have come up to me, I would have been like, yeah, I don't have arms, it's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, please parents, don't slap your child across the face and say, we don't talk about those people. That's awful. I mean, gosh, I feel so bad. I wish I was there to kind of console you in that situation because that's pretty rough.
What would you do as someone in the audience? I definitely want to know, like, what would you do in that situation where someone, like a kid, was saying, hey, that kid's different, or that person is different, and the mother or parent says, we don't talk about those people. Like, it's very discriminative, and it goes across, disability, race, ethnicity, religion. Discrimination exists everywhere. I want to know, like, how would you handle a situation like that? What would you do, or how would you handle talking to either the kid or the parent?
I think that's something that we'd like to hear in the comments. So let us know if you have a better idea about it, because I have to also be the voice of some other people who have disabilities who are not comfortable about talking, talking about their, for reasons that we may not even know. It may have been a traumatic thing that caused their disability. They may have went through an accident or lost it due to disease or something that happened medically. So sometimes people don't always want to talk about it. So I think I would like to share with you that if someone is not comfortable about talking about their life and why they have a disability, just leave them be. Let them go into their own space and understand that not everyone's comfortable about it. Some people, it brings up bad memories of something that happened. So we have to be respectful of those people and the fact that they don't want to sit there and spend 5 minutes educating the whole world about the accident that happened 10 years ago,
Definitely. I totally agree with that. I'm one of those people that are like super open and like, I mean, we make videos on the internet.
What we're doing right now. Exactly.
So I feel comfortable talking to people about situations, whether it's like on the internet or even like out and about. So I know I feel comfortable, and I would assume that you would feel comfortable too if a parent or a child came up to you and asked you questions about your disability. But yeah, definitely some people just don't feel comfortable with it, and that's okay too. That's a teaching moment for you and your child to understand that everyone has their personal space, and I guess you met that person's personal space.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know also how you would approach this type of subject. Well, what would you tell your child? Because we're not parents, but we just want to give that advice to parents who have this experience. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and go to patreon.com/ToeTalks to help us produce more videos to educate more people about how to deal with differences.
So if you guys are interested in watching more of our videos, I would definitely go and watch this particular one where I talk about my experience working at a pizzeria where an adult had a hissy fit and made a huge scene about it. So kids are one thing, but adults should definitely know better. Definitely check that one out, and we will see you in the next one.